They're playing the little bit. Oh, terrible kick. That's awful. That just kills you. And then Scarlett in short. Menzel, he's been called to go. That's a wonderful kick. He's a footballer, Menzel. And Duncan finishes it off.
As a young player with a new coach, you get a chance to really establish yourself, and you just get the feeling. We saw Chris Scott talk to both his young players at three-quarter time. That's the future, and they're certainly playing for their coach.
14 points the margin, and Geelong attack again. Johnson goes out wide on the lead. Podsiadly, he's marked about 55 metres out, sends it long down towards full forward. Menzel fancies himself, could have almost got a free there. Chop of the arms, nothing doing. Gibson, who's battled manfully, heads for the boundary line, and it trickles across. Boundary throw in.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you.
So just over 4 minutes. Everything needs to go right now for the Hawks. No margin for error. Who's holding who? Hawkins flicks it down behind. Ellis tackled by Chapman, who somehow finishes up with a footy. Feeds it back to Ling. Smothered off the boot. It goes about 5 metres. Mitchell, courageous, does brilliantly. Guerra feeds it back. Short one comes out of defence. Ladson gave it to a teammate there in Ellis, but again, his kick wasn't good. Scarlett's got it. Looks like they'll celebrate his 250th with a victory. Chapman, terrific. Some great numbers put up by some hard workers today. Chapman, Mitchell, Sewell. There's Mackey off his step. Stokes, right centre wing.
Just working their way around the edges now, Geelong. Corey. Good mark. Selwood. So strong.
They were all really high percentage kicks. Low risk, maintain possession, but with low risk footy going towards the boundary.
So big numbers again for Selwood today. That one not such a great kick, so 29 disposals for Selwood. Hawthorn. They've been competitive, but they got the dream start, but they haven't been able to hold the Cats. That's out on the full. So the sub. He's never really got his head above water today, has he?
I don't know whether he had a choice there, but Barco's the right footy. He should have been the one trying to take it if the umpire was going to let him. Tough kick for Podsiadly, being the left footer.
So Johnson runs around the back. Stiff there. Just hasn't been able to impose himself, Elliso, in the second half, has he?
He came on fresh, but hasn't been able to use that freshness.
The other sub's been handled, Menzel.
Yeah.
So Podsiadly, who hasn't been able to kick one in front all day. There you go. Better from the angle, guys.
Well, they've been strong with under 3 minutes to go. They've got themselves the 20-point lead, Geelong, and when you think of it, 17-15, they've had 32 scoring shots to 22, so they've certainly had the ball in their part of the ground. Their efficiency's been fantastic. The inside 50s have been about the same, but Geelong's ability to have that 32 scoring shots from 56 inside 50 entries is really great forward half efficiency.
Some of the bullocking work from Joel Selwood early in probably halfway through this term has been outstanding in the centre clearance, just putting his head over the ball, driving through and getting the ball forward. He's now moved his way up to 29 possessions, leading possession getter on the ground.
Cats look home. Mitchell out of the middle, missed by Young. Runs on to Ladson, run down by Stokes. Still no concessions from the Cats. Shields went to ground, moved at about 5 metres with the run of the football. Selwood goes to Stokes, back to Enright, who was involved earlier. And the three of them figure nicely. Selwood just letting the clock run. He's the curator of the clock at the moment. 117 to 97, just over 2 minutes to go. Selwood thumps it inside the forward 50. Big leap, Menzel. Wow. He's really on fire. Chapman kept the ball in. Goes with the outside of the boot down towards full forward. They've got the numbers. Eventually, Gillam got it from Hale and chips it to Franklin. I think they're Geelong supporters.
He's kicked 3, but he's been well beaten today, buddy. If you look ahead, Tom and Lee, in round 8, Geelong play Collingwood on a Friday night. Now, Geelong have got North Melbourne at home and a bye, and Collingwood, they've got the Bulldogs, but there's a pretty good chance those two teams will go into that match as undefeated on a Friday night in round 8.
That's déjà vu. That happened last year, didn't it? I'm pretty sure. Going undefeated, both of them.
We've had some huge matches between the two, of course, the prelim finals in the last 4 years, all those occasions, and the premierships between them. But
Look at Chapman on it. He knows where to go.
so Stokes, there you go. Chapman. His goals early in this match were vital, weren't they?
Yeah.
It was against the flow, wasn't it? So Lee, just quickly, we're at Hawthorn. I mean, at the moment, Geelong's obviously number 2 to Collingwood. Hawthorn 3, 4, where do you reckon quickly?
I think Hawthorn have got great capabilities, but I don't know how often they produce it. You always look at their team and their personnel and you think, gee, they've got a lot going for them. But again, they've got to be consistently good, and at the moment they just haven't been able to do that month in, month out.
Are they better than Carlton and Essendon, do you think?
Yeah, I think they are. The other side was
change infringement while we're talking here. Against Geelong.
So Bateman will get the resultant free kick on top.
50-metre
50,
penalty,
yeah,
so
he might
becomes
kick
a
4
shot at
Bateman.
goal.
The other side I was going to mention, which seems to be floating under everyone's radar, particularly in Victoria's Fremantle.
Yeah.
Getting some really great wins, some gutsy wins, and Geelong running very closely to them over in, or getting on top of them over in Subiaco. So they would certainly be a top 4 side at the moment.
But I reckon in a nutshell, you've got the top Geelong and Collingwood from last year, and others have to find a way up to those two.
So Young gets it from Bateman, lines up. This one's off line low, and through it goes for a minor score. I think it's fair to say that the sum of the parts with Hawthorn are maybe greater than the whole. You look at them on paper, you think, yep, they've got it, but for some reason there's just a little something missing. Apart from 08, of course. They had the package, and speaking of the package, he flies from behind and punches it forward. It hasn't been his day. Taken away by Duncan. Growing in stature, cruising past is Stokes. Chapman is free down towards the 50 momentarily, but they've got no reason to hurry. Here's Duncan.
That's back there, like.
Back. And they're just playing now with the Hawks. Terrific game of football, but eventually it's Geelong who have prevailed. They win by 19 points at the MCG on a Tuesday afternoon, and they remain undefeated.